Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Iraqi Dinar News channel, your trusted source for powerful insights and real-time strategies in the global revaluation RV space. If you're holding Iraqi Dinar, IQD, Vietnamese Dong, VND, or Zimbabwean dollar, said, today's episode could mean the difference between walking away with a life-changing payout or leaving value on the table. We're diving deep into what to say and what not to say during your currency exchange appointment. You'd be surprised how your words could either open financial doors or close them in seconds. That's right, your language, tone, and preparedness can determine if you're seen as a serious investor or just another walk-in. Stay with us till the end because we're sharing real phrases that could elevate your position and warning signs that could cost you everything. Let's get into it. Most people assume that exchanging their dinar or dong is as simple as handing over currency and getting paid. But in 2025, with global banking systems tightening security and compliance, that assumption is not only wrong, it's dangerous. The RV environment has evolved into a sophisticated financial network involving contract rates, structured payouts, and private appointments. Walk in unprepared and you risk being denied access to high-value options. Walk in prepared and you may unlock elevated tiers not available to the general public. Today's script is about preparing your mindset and your mouth. What you say matters. What you don't say matters even more. Banks and redemption centers are evaluating you the moment you walk through the door. Your language tells them whether you're informed or speculative, whether you're a risk or an opportunity. And once you're labeled, reversing that impression is nearly impossible. Let's start with what not to say, the rookie mistakes that instantly flag you as a misinformed exchanger. One of the worst phrases you can say is, I heard this is going to make me rich. While you may be excited, that kind of language immediately sounds like gambling, not finance. Exchange officers are trained to detect type, and that phrase is a red flag for compliance. Another red flag, saying, I want to cash in my dinar. That phrase makes your transaction sound informal and risky. Instead, use words like redeem or exchange, which show professionalism, and don't say things like, I was told I'd get a certain rate. That sets up a combative tone, and banks are not obligated to honor rumors. Instead, ask, may I confirm if there are any contract rate options available today? That simple shift in tone makes it all the difference. Now let's focus on what to say, the powerful phrases that show you're serious, informed, and legally aware. Starting your appointment with, good morning, I'm here to complete my currency redemption appointment sends a clear message. You're not just showing up to ask questions, you're scheduled, prepared, and confident. This signals to the banker that you might be part of a higher tier group or have prior clearance. Use the word redemption, not cash-in. Redemption implies a structured, potentially private process. You want to be associated with elevated professional clients, not someone stumbling in for the first time. Always maintain calm professionalism. Even if you're nervous, don't let it show. Speaking clearly and with purpose can move you to a private room or elevate your access to better rates. The way you start your appointment sets the tone for everything that followed. Next, let's talk about the phrase, I'm open to signing a non-disclosure agreement, NDA. Why does this matter? Because NDAs are often associated with private exchanges and elevated contract rates. When you express openness to confidentiality, you show that you understand the legal and sensitive nature of high-value currency redemptions. Banks don't hand out NDAs lightly. They reserve them for transactions that require secrecy due to private rate offers, institutional arrangements, or structured wealth programs. By saying this up front, you may trigger a higher level of service. The banker may bring in a senior advisor or confirm whether you qualify for any tiered programs. It also builds trust. They see you as someone who respects the process, and in financial circles, trust is everything. Show you're ready to play by the rules and you'll likely gain access to more favorable terms. One of the strongest phrases you can use is, may I receive written confirmation of the final rate before proceeding. This might sound simple, but it's incredibly powerful. It shows that you're not just emotionally invested, you're financially responsible, you're requesting transparency, and that matters. In high-stakes transactions, numbers can be misheard or misquoted. By asking for written proof, you protect yourself. Some banks may provide a printout or display it on screen before finalizing. In any case, your request forces accountability. It also subtly communicates that you expect a professional process. This makes bankers think twice about brushing you off or offering you bottom-tier rates. Written documentation can also help you discuss tax implications later with your CPA or attorney. The message here: take nothing for granted. Ask smart questions. Demand clarity. Always move like a person who knows the value of what they're holding. Here's another winning phrase. Do you have any structured payout options or tiered benefits for large volume exchanges? Now, this is a game changer. Structured payouts are often used by institutions to manage liquidity, taxes, and compliance. If you're redeeming a large amount of IQD, VND, or ZWL, they may not want to hand you everything in one go. By asking this question, you show that you understand banking strategies and tax optimization. That makes you look like a high net worth client, even if it's your first exchange. This could lead to offers of interest-bearing accounts, escrow arrangements, or deferred payment plans that minimize your tax hit. It might even connect you with the bank's wealth management division. Always ask. The worst they can say is no, but more often, they'll realize you're thinking long-term and move you into a premium client category. Never underestimate the power of showing your tax rootle. Try saying this: I've already consulted with my CPA and I understand this is a taxable event. This tells the institution you're financially mature and serious about compliance. Banks are under strict legal pressure to report large transactions. If they think you're clueless about the tax implications, it may delay or even cancel your transaction. But when you mention your CPA, you instantly reduce their risk perception. They now see you as someone who's unlikely to trigger audit flags or legal problems. This could speed up your appointment or even result in extra guidance being offered. It's also likely to earn you respect from compliance teams. And in 2025, those teams have major say in high-volume exchanges. Your tax preparation speaks volumes about your overall financial IQ. Don't wait to bring it up, lead with it. Let's shift into appearance and presentation. How you physically present yourself matters just as much as what you say. Dress business casual or professional. Keep your currency organized in neat bundles with denominations separated and labeled. Bring a clean folder or binder with copies of your ID, proof of purchase, any legal documentation like trusts and CPA contact info. This shows you're not just hoping to get paid, you've come to conduct business. When they see your level of preparedness, they'll treat you differently. In some cases, this might trigger access to a private redemption room, one-on-one service, or better contract offers. Every detail, from your handshake to your tone, will be evaluated. Don't slouch, don't ramble, speak clearly and confidently, as if you're attending a job interview. In truth, your presentation may determine whether you're seen as a client or a liability. Avoid sounding speculative or uncertain. Do not say, I'm just here to see what rate I can get. That sounds unprepared and casual. Exactly what banks want to avoid during sensitive, high-value exchanges. Instead, say, I'm here for my scheduled redemption. May I confirm the process and available rate tiers? That one sentence is structured, confident, and respectful. It implies you know what's happening and are simply verifying details. It removes guesswork from the banker's perspective. Also, avoid gossip-based phrases like, a friend told me I could get a $3.00 rate. Even if that's true, don't say it. Use respectful inquiries instead. Bankers are trained to flag statements that sound like rate rumors, which could be seen as manipulation or disinformation. Always present your questions as professional clarifications, not demands. That shift in tone could mean the difference between getting a public rate or a contract one. As we enter the heart of the RV climate in 2025, it's essential to remember that not all exchanges are the same. Some individuals may be eligible for tiered rates, private offers, or redemption center access depending on how they approach the process. If you're holding a substantial amount of IQD, BND, or ZWO, the system may treat you differently, but only if you act like someone who belongs at that level. That means understanding institutional vocabulary, asking the right questions, and never appearing desperate or overexcited. When you walk in calm, organized, and focused, it makes the bank's job easier, and that makes them more likely to offer you the best options available. Your professionalism is your ticket to accessing the highest level of benefits. Don't downplay your preparedness, show up like a person who has already studied this space, and the results will follow. And let's review another major mistake to avoid: oversharing. Many investors feel compelled to explain their entire currency journey: when they bought, who told them to, what forums they follow. Don't do this. Sharing too much personal or speculative background can work against you. Instead of focusing on your past, keep the conversation rooted in the present transaction, stick to facts, and avoid emotional language. For example, don't say, "I bought this years ago because I heard it would revalue big time." That might sound innocent, but it signals speculation, not strategy. A better approach is, "I'm prepared to complete my currency redemption and have all necessary documentation ready." Keep it clean, focused, and forward-facing. The less personal detail you give, the more professional you appear. This is not the time for storytelling. It's a business transaction, and you want to be seen as a serious, informed participant. The phrase, "I understand this is a financial transaction governed by compliance standards," is another power move. This line shows that you recognize the legal weight of what you're doing. It tells the banker they won't have to worry about you breaking policy, complaining later, or triggering audit concerns. Banks are under massive regulatory pressure in 2025, especially with the rise of foreign currency exchanges. They need to document, verify, and track every detail, so when you demonstrate that you're aware of this and respectful of it, it helps them trust you. This can open doors to higher-level representatives, faster service, and better processing. You may also be offered additional paperwork like IRS forms or NDAs, which are indicators that you're dealing with a more advanced redemption process. Compliance talk wins you respect. Use it strategically to boost your credibility instantly. Many redemption centers may be operating under quiet guidance from Treasury departments or internal compliance teams. As public scrutiny grows, they want to ensure all large redemptions, especially exotic currencies, follow protocol. That's why being calm, accurate, and prepared makes such a difference. Say something like, "I understand large currency transactions are monitored for compliance and legal reporting. I'm fully prepared to meet those standards." This gives them exactly what they want: reassurance. It shows you're not trying to bypass the system or conceal anything. You're here to participate properly. This can shift the tone from guarded to cooperative. It also may give you an opportunity to ask deeper questions about rate structures, tax filings, or structured payout programs. Ultimately, a professional approach lowers resistance and invites the bank to treat you as a client they can trust. That's when the real doors begin to open. And let's not forget the importance of your physical documentation. In 2025, simply showing up with paper bills isn't enough. You should bring valid ID, such as a passport or driver's license. Also, carry proof of currency purchase if possible. Receipts, invoices, or wire confirmations. Have your CPA's contact info ready and be prepared to sign forms like IRS 8300 if required. This shows banks that your funds are traceable and compliant. It can also make the entire process faster and smoother. If you're exchanging under a family trust or legal structure, bring supporting documents. Neat folders, labeled envelopes, and organized files all help paint you as a high-value client. In contrast, showing up with crumpled bills and no ID could derail the entire exchange. Presentation equals credibility. In a world where trust is everything, the more you look like you belong, the more likely you are to benefit. As the RV environment tightens and becomes more regulated, banks are also rolling out enhanced surveillance, recordings, and verification measures. Many redemption appointments may be recorded by audio or video, and you'll be under observation the entire time. This makes your language even more important. Never say anything you wouldn't want recorded or reviewed. Be polite, precise, and focused. If the banker explains something and you're unsure, ask calmly for clarification. Don't guess or speculate. Instead say, "Could you explain that again in writing for my records?" This positions you as serious, not suspicious. It also helps protect you. Always stay calm, even if things seem unclear. The more controlled and respectful your interaction, the more likely you are to receive a favorable outcome. And if anything is ever questioned later, your recorded interaction will reflect your professionalism. The coming 60 to 90 days may present the most significant opportunity for early exchangers to access favorable rates and premium redemption tiers. But that access will not be handed to just anyone. Banks are looking for qualified, legally structured, and psychologically stable individuals to offer premium services. Your words will either prove that you are that person or disqualify you. Be ready with strategic phrases like, "I'm prepared for a structured redemption," or "I've consulted with my tax advisor, and I understand this is a reportable transaction." These aren't just good manners. They're access codes. Use them wisely. You never know when one phrase might open a door to a rate you didn't even know existed. And just as importantly, avoid speculative or emotional language at all costs. It could cost you more than you think. Let's bring it all together. In this new financial era, it's not enough to just own IQD, VND, or ZWL. You must understand how to present yourself as a qualified, compliant, and informed exchanger. That starts with your language. Know what to say, know what to avoid. From the moment you step into a redemption appointment, every move you make will influence how you're treated and what rate you're offered. Be like a professional, prepare like an insider, and move like someone who's ready to handle serious money. Because when this revaluation unfolds, and many signs say it's close, the people who get ahead won't be the loudest or the luckiest. They'll be the smartest and most prepared. Thanks for tuning in to Iraqi Dinar News. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more insider-level updates. See you in the next one. Stay ready and stay informed.